Morning, everybody. So what I have here is a little bit of 1095 right here. This is a high carbon steel. So what I've done so far is I ground off all the mill scale because we're going to be making a Cu Mai billet. And a Cu Mai billet, you need to take all the preparations that you can to make sure you have success. So grinding off all the mill scale off of the copper and the high carbon steel is the first step to success. We're going to be cleaning this with acetone so that I get all the abrasives knocked off, because I took this to the 2x72 and you get a lot of like aluminum oxide on there or some grit in there that you really don't want in your billet. So we're gonna clean that off with acetone. We're gonna weld it up and we're gonna clean it again and throw it in the forge, throw some flux on her, and start setting the weld. So now that we got all the seams welded up and we got our handle put on, we're about ready to start forge welding this. Well, it's not really forge welding. The copper actually does capillary action, so you're not getting it to forge welding temperature. You're just getting it hot enough so that it's on the brink of the copper melting, but it kind of doesn't at the same time. It just kind of blends in with the metal, almost like a brazing action. Got the forge lit. We're going to let it heat up to where all the inside is pretty much one color. You know, you really want the forge to warm up so that there's no cold spots in there, and it'll help, regulate the temperature of your billet. And like I was saying before, we don't want to forge weld this. We want to have a capillary action. So we're going to get this up to an orange heat, and we're going to lightly press it together. There is a chance that some of the copper can squeeze out. If there's any pinholes or anything like that, it's going to find its way out. Alright, before it's all heated up, we're going to throw this little bad boy right in there. So our billet is at an orange heat. We're going to start setting the weld. Once again, we're getting this to an orange heat. We're not forge welding. It doesn't need to be white. So what I'm doing is I'm flipping it over so that the core stays in the center. You're going to want your hard edge right in the center. That way when you're grinding, you don't have to worry about it. So it started getting down to a dull orange, and I threw it back in the fire. I don't want to beat it while it's cold. So I don't know how the camera came up, but here it was a bright orange. Second heat, we're going to hit it a little bit harder. going to be going over my press over there and lightly squeezing it. I don't want to squeeze all the copper out. It already looks like we got a leak somewhere, so. Try and do the draw out dies so we can actually kind of get it down the size that we want. You know, we pretty much set the welds. And yeah, I'm a little impatient, so. Okay, I think I found the leak. This might squirt some liquid copper out, so we'll see. I'm going to try and go nice and light though. So it is squirting out, you know, that's pretty good. I think if we just go at it kind of lightly, we'll be alright. Just so that everyone knows, this is kind of my first attempt at doing this, so I am not an expert. But I have done a lot of research on it, and I know, you know, reading something and doing something are completely different things, but you gotta start somewhere, you know. Back to the drawn out dies. We're gonna get some light out of this. If I can get it. Yeah, so we're just going to be switching back and forth between the drawn dies and the flattening dies. Try and get some length and get that thickness down a little bit. So here's the billet, looking all ugly and everything. They always seem to right around the edges where you did the weld. I don't know if it's just stretching the weld out so much that it looks all crusty, or if that's a reaction of the copper against the steel. But either way, this is what they always seem to look like. So we're gonna call that pretty much. It's a little over a 1/4 inch, so we're about where we want to be. We're gonna lose some material when we go to grind all this scale and everything off. So it might be a little under a 1/4 inch when we're done, but that's okay. It'll still be a little beefy, and it's still gonna be a badass knife if this all goes well.